Hi, everyone. My name is Tammy Zimmel, and I want to welcome you all to the EDGE training webinar for pricing and labor. Just a couple housekeeping items. This webinar will be recorded, and you will receive an email from GoToWebinar with the recording, and then also I'll place it on our YouTube channel within 2 to 4 hours after this webinar. We also have a new contact email. It used to be marketing@estimatingedge.com, but we have now changed it to training-gotowebinar@foundationsoft.com. Or if you have any questions, you can also email tech support. And then lastly, we have a survey at the end of this webinar, and we really value your opinion. It really kind of helps us shape what kind of content we provide for to all of you. So it's really important that we get your feedback for that. While we're waiting, people are still kind of joining. I've asked Brian Ververka from the Foundation Events team to join us and share a really cool event that's coming up. So he's going to only take a couple minutes, but while people are joining, Brian's going to just kind of share this news. So I'm going to pass this over to Brian.
Thank you, Tammy. All right, so hello everyone. Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are. Again, my name is Brian Vaverka, and I want to take just a couple minutes here to kick off your webinar today to talk about Converge 24. Hopefully this is something that you all have already heard about, or maybe if you were sitting in this call prior, you saw the rotating advertisement for Converge 24. This is our user conference that we have every other year, and this is for all of the different foundation software products, including Edge. So we have a lot of Edge clients that are currently registered for this event. We have nearly 800 total clients of foundation products that are registered for Converge 24 so far. This is going to be held in Nashville, Tennessee, April 22nd to April 25th. And as the slogan says, all of the foundation products, all users, in one conference. I'm going to go through one slide after this, going through just some quick highlight points. But if you wanted more information on this topic, the QR code will take you to the website. The bit.ly at the bottom here will take you to the website. And also, I'm going to put my email in the chat if you do have any questions. Tammy, then it has a handout associated where you can go to the handout within GoToWebinar to see more information. So a lot of ways that you can get more info if this piques your interest. All right, so here we go, my one slide that I have for you all, and then we'll kick it back to John Mitchell for your topic for today. Quick overview. Like I said, April 22nd to 25th in Nashville, Tennessee. The Omni Nashville Hotel is hosting us. It is a beautiful venue that makes it feel just like Nashville. This is a primarily educational conference. So we have beginning, intermediate, and advanced product training classes for all the different products within the foundation family of products. Our keynote speaker from Dr. Anaban Basu is going to be incredible. He's spoken with us before and does an incredible job. We get great feedback on him. We also are going to have a vendor pavilion of 30 or more best-in-class companies offering complementary products. So even though you use Edge and you use foundation products, we're going to have other industry, greats there that might be able to provide something for you in your industry too. One great thing about this is the opportunity to talk to our staff. So we're going to have a support bullpen if you have any technical or product issues during during our conference, or if you experience some beforehand that you want to bring in with you. We have a sales demo theater if you want to learn about any of the other products that we have. And then we have a town hall session with our leadership. So you can learn about what is coming in the future for Edge and for the foundation family of products. Like I said, we have like 800 or so people registered for this event. It's going to be awesome. So there are so many networking opportunities, roundtable discussions, and also within our mobile app that we have for the event, there'll be discussion boards, there'll be gamification to earn points and win prizes, to see the schedule and to do so much more with that. Lastly, we're talking Nashville here. Nashville is an awesome place. In April, it'll be beautiful. One of our highlights is Nashville Underground, where we have this 6th-floor barcade completely rented out. So that way on this Wednesday night, you can eat, drink, and play for free from 7 to 10 p.m. So we can take a little bit of a break from the educational components of Converge 24. Today is a big day. So today our early bird registration ends, which is why I wanted to take 1 minute to hop on the call with you all today. And if you do want to register after today, it'll be a $300 increase with registration closing next Friday. So please get on that today. Again, if you have more questions on Converge 24, take a look at our website here, the QR code, and I'll drop the email in the chat. Take a look at the handout Tammy has. And just want to appreciate the time, the 5 minutes I've taken here with you all. And I hope you really enjoy your session today. So thank you all so much. And I'm going to pass things back over to your presenter, John. So John, I'm going to pass it over to you, and you should have access, and you can take it away, my friend.
Okay, thank you, Brian and Tammy. That Converge 2024 sounds like a fun time. Okay, I'm just making sure that you're seeing the correct screen, and I think you are.
Yeah, looking good, John.
Okay, good. Today's topic is the pricing screen and the labor screen in the Edge. We'll be showing you the features and tools on each of those screens. Before I get started showing you those screens, though, I'm here on the conditions breadcrumb, and I see a list of conditions. Some of them are black, one of them is red. The ones that have a black description have a quantity. The one that's red does not. It has a 0 quantity. The description is red, and it has an orange status indicator. If I hover over that, it says condition has no quantity. It also has this exclamation point next to it in case you happen to be colorblind that lets you know that you don't have a quantity. Now I'm going to ask you a quick question, and that is, what do you think you're going to see on the pricing screen and the labor screen if I mark this condition that has no quantity? If you guessed that you won't see anything on the pricing screen or the labor screen, you are correct. So the moral to that story is, if you want things to show up on the pricing and labor screen, you've got to have quantities, either by measuring the quantity on the takeoff screen or by entering the quantity yourself. I'll turn this one off. And now I'll go to the pricing screen. That's the $ icon right here. I'm going to click it. Now, the first thing I want to point out is that you will want to arrange your pricing screen that suits you the best. And I think the price unit should be next to the unit price. So I'm going to put my mouse arrow on it and hold the left mouse button down, and I'm going to drag it to this white line right here, and I'm going to drop it so that it's right next to the unit price. Now I know that we're talking about a dollar amount per square foot for this membrane and a dollar amount per square for this insulation right here. So when you're on the pricing screen, you see that you see some status indicators are red and some are green. The ones that are red for a reason. It says errors. If I hover over that red status indicator, that doesn't tell me much, but the explanation to what the error is all about is over here next to unit price, or it's over here on the right in the column on the right, and it says the red error is that this item has no unit price. It needs to be corrected. There's a 5 in there also. What is that 5 all about? Well, it's because I need to turn on a column. I'm going to come over to the columns picker here, the button that says columns, and I'm going to fill in the one that says number. Here's the number column on the left. It shows the number of different occurrences of this material item. This material item only occurs one time, which means it's in one condition. And since it's only in one condition, I can click CP to go to the condition properties of the condition that this insulation lives in. I'll click CP, and condition properties opened on my other monitor. I'll drag it over here. There's condition properties. But when you have a material item that occurs in multiple conditions at the same time, like this one occurs in 5, when I hover over CP, it's grayed out because it's saying this material item exists in multiple conditions. We don't know which one to go to. So if it occurs in multiple places, it allows you to double click on it so that you see the multiple conditions that that material item exists in. And then you can click on the condition that you want to go to and click condition properties from there if you need to. So make sure your number column is showing by coming over to the columns picker. Now, you can choose different columns to show up, like waste percent. Waste percent showed up right here on this column. And these columns you can move around if you want to, so it doesn't need to go over there to the left. But when you arrange these things, the arrangement that you are placing these things at will stay this way on this computer, no matter who's logged in on this computer. It has no effect on anyone else's computer. It's on a computer by computer basis. All right, so you could apply a waste percent, by the way, and put it in there. I'm putting a 5% waste, and I'm going to hit enter. And there it is, a 5% waste on this item. Now, that waste percent is in this job only. I have not sent that waste percent to the database for this item. We could, but I haven't just yet. Really, the pricing screen is about adding unit prices to your materials. Now, I want to point out something here before I start putting unit prices in. The black items are material items. These green items down here are subcontractors. The red ones are what we call other, and these brownish looking items are equipment. Well, the reason they're color coded is because the black description items, the material items, are going into a tax class on the recap screen called material. And the material tax class can have a markup like maybe tax, sales tax, and that sales tax will be applied to all of these items that are under that tax class. You can do the same with the subcontractor and apply that markup to all of the subcontractors, and you can apply a markup or markups to the equipment. So they're classified by tax class here. Anyway, let's change some prices. We see these ones with a red status indicator have no price. So what I'm going to do is double click right here, and I'm going to put a price. Here is the database unit price. It's what we have in the database for this material item. Currently, it's 85 cents per square foot. I'm going to change that to 95 cents per square foot by putting 0.95 in there, and I'm going to tap on the enter button, and now the price in this job is 95 cents per square foot. The database unit price is still 85 cents per square foot. If I go do another job right now, this material item will come in at 85 cents per square foot because that's the price in the database. Let's change some other prices. The database unit price on this is 32. We'll make this one $35. And I'm going to put 35 and hit enter. Each time I hit enter, I'm going down one step. It's automatically coming down when I hit enter. So the term bar, I'm going to put at $250, hit enter, and it goes down. By the way, you can just go down by hitting the arrow key on your keyboard like I'm doing right now. I'm a double clicker, but some of you are keyboard wizards, I guess. So you can use your arrow up and down key. So we're going to put a price in here for this one at $16 and hit enter. And I'm going to put this one at $10 just for fun. And this one, Carlisle bonding adhesive, I'm going to say a gallon of this is $175. When I hit enter, you're going to notice that this status indicator is going to go from being red to being green. I'm going to hit enter. It became green. If you have an item that you don't even want to include in this job, like this plumbing sub here, all you need to do is click the on button and it goes on. Sheet metal sub, I'll turn that off. Maybe I want to keep the vacuum sub. These two are turned off. If I want to refresh the screen, I can click on the $ icon again, and those two subs that I turned off are not there anymore. You may ask if you can get them back, and you can by coming up here to item options and include off items, and you'll be seeing everything that is currently turned off. You can just turn them back on again, the plumbing sub and the sheet metal sub, and then go back to seeing only the on items. All right, there are some features here that I want to point out. Number one, I've added new prices for some of these things. If I want to send these prices to the database, I can. There's a couple of different ways of doing that. Number one, you could mark those items. You could actually mark all of the items at the same time by clicking the column header, and then click this stack of discs right here and fill in price, and then click OK, and these prices will go to the database. Excuse me. I don't want to send those prices at the moment. Another way of sending the prices to the database might be by using the wizard. I'm going to use the wizard on this T-joint cover patch right here. I'm going to click there, T-joint patch, and I'm going to click the magic wand to open up the wizard. The first question that the wizard asks you is if the user code is correct. In this case, the user code is correct. I'm going to click next. And then it's saying, what is the item ordered by? Let's say it's ordered by a carton, a CTN, and that it's actually priced by the carton as well, carton. And then we click next. Then it's saying there is more than one each in a carton. Well, yes, there is more than one each in a carton. There are 100 of them in the carton. Maybe there's 120 of them in a carton. This question here is asking if this quantity comes in as a partial quantity, do I want to be able to round it up to the next nearest whole number? The answer is yes in this case, I do. So I'm going to click next. What is the unit price per carton? It's not $5. It's more like, I don't know, $230 a carton. I don't know how much it is, but I'm going to put $230 in there. And I'm going to click next. I don't need the part number right now. I don't need the waste percent right now, or the account code, or the phase code, or the price date. But if I click price right here, this is the final screen of the wizard. I know that because it says finish down here. If I fill in price, that price will go to the database. So when I click finish, the T-joint cover patches are now coming in by the carton, and there are 120 of them per carton, and I only need a partial carton, 0.32 of a carton. You see that? It's saying the order quantity is 0.32. The adjusted order quantity currently says 0.32 of a carton. Well, I spoke about rounding up to the next nearest whole number. The way to achieve that would be by marking that material item, and you come up here and click on this icon right here that looks like 1.75 going up to 2. I'm going to click it, and now the adjusted order quantity is 1. The original order quantity is 0.32. It added 0.68 to that 0.32 to bring you to 1 full carton of T-joint cover patches. Okay, there's a couple other features that I want to point out, and one of them is called replace tilde code. Here is a good example of why you might want to use replace tilde code. If this material is not the material you want on this job, you can change it in all 5 conditions at the same time by clicking on it right here, and click the replace tilde code icon right here, and it will allow me to change it to a different material right here. Let's say I'm changing this 60 mil TPO to 60 mil PVC. I think it's up here somewhere. There we go, 60 mil PVC. When I click OK and click apply, it is changing that material in all 5 conditions all at the same time. Even, it doesn't matter what the number is here, it could be 500, it changed it in all of those places all at once. That's replace tilde code. Okay, there's a couple other features on the pricing screen that I'm going to point out, but I'm not actually going to demonstrate because it's too time consuming for this webinar. But one of them is called vendor quotes. The way to achieve vendor quotes is you would mark the material items that you want to request from a vendor or some vendors, and you would mark the material items and then click this button, and it will send a request to those vendors for a price quote. Those vendors will get an email, they'll fill it out and send it back, and you'll get a notification that the vendors have sent their quotes back to you. You'll click the notification, and it will give you a window with a comparison of the prices between those vendors, and you'll be able to pick and choose which prices you want to put into this job. Click apply, and those prices will be right in this job. There's a video on that on YouTube. If you do a YouTube search on estimating edge vendor quotes, you'll see the video on exactly how it's done. It's also on our knowledge base. If you go to estimatingedge.com and hover over support, you can click on knowledge base and do a search for vendor quotes to find that there. We also have another feature for Beacon. If you order material items from Beacon, you can actually place an order straight from this job by marking the materials you want to order, and you can direct order them from the Beacon Pro Plus website by clicking that button. A few things might need to be set up for you. So if you call tech support, they can set that up for your company. Okay, that does it for the pricing screen. I'm going to move on to the labor screen, which probably won't take as much time. Oh, actually, I do want to point out one thing. These blue arrows here, all that indicates is that we have taken these prices up from what we had in the database already. It's just an indicator. Oh, there is one more thing that I want to show you, and that is that you can mark these items that we change the prices for, and you can quickly put them back to the price that's in the database, these prices that we have changed already, by clicking, you mark them all, then you click the RI button. RI stands for replace item, and click refresh, and it will replace the prices for those materials that you had selected with the price that's in the database. All right, moving on from there, I'm going to go to the labor screen now by clicking the time clock icon. Now, there are a lot of columns on the labor screen. You don't need to see all these columns, I suspect. So you can come to the columns picker over here, and you can eliminate some of these columns. Like maybe I don't need to see account code description or user code. This AU stands for alternate unit. This is alternate unit per crew day. Maybe I don't need to see any of this alternate unit stuff or this stuff relating to minutes, alternate unit. Okay, I've whittled down the columns. There aren't so many of them. I'm thinking you'll want to just have the columns showing that you want showing. Something you'll need to commit to memory about the labor screen is that EU stands for estimated unit. Each of these labor items is estimated in one unit or another, like this, fully adhering this membrane right here is estimated in squares. The other thing you're concerned with on the labor screen is production rates. And a benchmark production rate on the labor screen is EU per hour, which means literally how many can one man do in an hour? EU per hour. Well, this is saying right now that one man can do 3.45 squares of adhering this membrane right here. Let's say he's a little bit faster than that and he can do 4.5 squares. I'm going to put 4.5 and hit enter. I have only changed that production in this job. I have not changed the production rate in the database. In order to send the production rate to the database for this labor item, all I need to do is mark it, hit the stack of disks, and fill in production rate, and click OK. And now the new production rate is 4.5 squares per hour. So you'll stick to one column and go down that column. It doesn't have to be EU per hour. It can be EU per man day, which means literally how many can one man do in a day. Or it could be EU per crew day, which is right here. So you can fill in any one of these production rates. You can fill in the production rates on any one of these columns. There's just a couple other things that I want to point out here on the labor screen. And one of them is I deliberately put one of the production multipliers at 0. if you have a 0 production multiplier, if you try to edit a production rate, I'm putting 5 and hitting enter, it went immediately to 0. No matter what production rate I try to put this at, it zeroes out because the production multiplier is 0. What you need to do, you might not even have the production multiplier column showing, but you can force it to be showing by filling it in here. It's right there. So all I'm going to do is put a 1 in there for the production multiplier. And now when I change the production rate, it will change. It will hold. There's another feature on the labor screen. It shows the total number of man hours right here, the total number of hours, I should say, at 182, 22.82 man days. Well, maybe you know you can do this job quicker than 22.8 man days. So you can look at certain labor items and know you can do them at a faster, in less number of hours or days. You can mark that item and go to UC. You might not even need to mark it. You can click on it, go to UC, and fill in the hours for that thing. Maybe it's not 35.82. Maybe we can do that in more like 30. And click enter, and then click OK and apply, and the total number of hours on this job is adjusted. That's one way to adjust the hours. Okay, that about wraps it up for the pricing screen and the labor screen. I want to remind you all that you will receive an email after this webinar is completely closed out that will have a recording. It'll have a link to the recording of the webinar, and there will also be a copy of the recording on YouTube within 2 to 4 hours. So thank you for attending this webinar. Happy estimating and have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.